Have you ever questioned why some leaders or individuals are able to win the hearts of millions with a single word or even a single look? The next key talk is a keynote on the topic of the future isn't digital. I think they're going to be talking about the importance of things right here in real life. So we are honored to have the co-founder and chairman of Picture Wealth. Please welcome Mr. Neal Cross.
Hello everyone, Swadika, Neal, Salamat Sorry, and G'day mate. How are we, good? Good, yes? Having a good conference? This is my second Techsauce, so hopefully if I do a good job, they'll invite me back. If I don't do a good job, they'll probably cancel my flight. So I am the chairman of Picture Wealth. It's a fintech I co-founded. And what we do is we do what banks should be doing. Yeah? What banks should be doing is improving the financial lives and financial health of their customers. But before this, I was Chief Innovation Officer at a small bank called DBS. You might have heard of it. And so I've had a lot of experience in the industry. And what I want to talk about today is something I've just started to been thinking about the last few months. This is a brand new presentation for me, where everyone's talking about digital, aren't they? Digital transformation, digital disruption, everything's digital, everything's technology. And I sat down and I thought about this, and I don't think the future is digital. Yes, exactly. Thank you. That's it. There's my one and only friend who's sat down there. And I just don't think it is digital. I think we're fooling ourselves to think that the future is digital. So let me explain why. You know, we've all seen this slide, yeah? Amazon, the world's largest retailer, doesn't have any stores. Airbnb, the world's largest accommodation business, has no rooms. Uber, the world's largest transport company, has no vehicles, yeah? And Ant Financial, the world's largest fintech company, isn't a bank. So we've seen this, and we think, yeah, these digital champions, isn't it amazing? But this is different now, yeah? We know that Amazon acquired Whole Foods. Amazon does have stores now. We know that Airbnb, Airbnb is actually building their own apartments. So they are getting into property. We know that Ant Financial just got a banking license. They are a bank. And we know, or you may not know, I didn't till recently, Uber has a huge amount of vehicles they own. In fact, with their recent loss against Grab in Southeast Asia, they had to sell off their fleet cheaply in Singapore. Mind you, a car in Singapore could hardly be called cheap. I never knew that. I never knew they actually owned a huge fleet of vehicles. And so they're not truly digital. But why are they going physical? Why, when the whole world is rushing towards digitization, are the digital giants rushing towards the physical? I hear this phrase, digital disruption, a lot. I get asked by many companies, hey Neal, can you come in and help us with our digital strategy, digital transformation? We want to be a digital disruptor. Yeah? And we think it's all about technology, yeah? It's about blockchain and AI and data lakes and apps. And that's what innovation is, yeah? Innovation's all about technology. I don't think it is. I actually think innovation and technology are completely separate fields. I know that because they're spelt differently. Innovation, technology. But if you dig into what does technology mean, and I found this quote. So the word technology comes from, as many words do, the ancient Greek. And techna means art or craft, and logia means logic. So technology is probably best described as arty logic or crafty logic. Actually, that's what Facebook should be called, crafty logic. And that's what it means. But we associate technology with two things, chips and code, yeah? We associate it with electronics, chips, mobile phones, laptops, IoT, and we associate it with code, software. And that's all we think is technology. But for me, nothing has changed in technology, nothing, since the iPhone in my mind. All we've done since the iPhone really is put code into a different order and called it innovation. Think about it. What has really changed? AI's been around for 50 years. Yeah? The technology got a bit cheaper, easier to use, so we could store more data, so it advanced. Blockchain, just a rearrangement of C++ code. Nothing has really advanced in technology. The iPhone was different. The iPhone enabled a whole world of apps. But for me, technology, I've been in technology since I was a young kid. Yeah, I used to be a games developer at 11. And technology for me is really just the sand and cement I use to solve problems. It's just utility. At no point in the history of technology has software been as easy as it is today. It is so easy. I used to write computer games in assembler, yeah? And I wrote actually the AI, well, machine learning, let's call it by its real name, platform in 2 kilobytes. Yeah, in assembler. That was hard. I built a website for my foundation recently. I just dragged and dropped, put in some images, wrote some text. And that was the first software I've ever written with no bugs. Took half a day. It's so easy. Technology is so easy. We think it's hard, but it isn't, not compared with what it used to be like. And every year it gets easier. I mean, in fairness, software will end up writing itself. It's virtually writing itself now. And I meet many startups, you know, and I say to them, I say, hey, well, what do you do then? They go, oh, we're a blockchain startup. Oh, okay. What do you do? Oh, we're a blockchain startup. But what is it you do? We're a blockchain startup. I'm like, geez, okay. Now, let me rephrase that. What problem do you solve? What business are you in? Oh, we do payments. Oh, okay, so you're a payment startup. No, we're a blockchain startup. And they go, what do you do? Oh, I'm a chair startup. What, you sell chairs? No, at work I use a chair, so I must be a chair startup. I also use an office, I'm an office startup, and I drink coffee, so I must be a coffee startup. I don't understand, why are we putting the construction materials above the problem we're solving? You don't see people going, we're a Java startup, an HTML startup, a computer startup. It just seems a little odd, yeah? But at the moment, we're all either AI or blockchain or botchain, or that's what we're calling ourselves. We seem to be defocusing on the real problem we're solving in our business model and focusing more on the sand and the cement. Take these two companies. Two highly innovative digital companies, technology companies, yeah. iTunes and Netflix. Everyone agrees these are great, you know, leading technology innovators. But they're not innovating in technology. Their success wasn't about technology. What their success was about Firstly, they're a distribution model innovation. That means I don't need to go to a shop and buy a CD or a DVD to listen to music or watch films. It gets delivered to my device. It distributes the media in a different way and disrupts it. Secondly, they're a pricing model innovation. I don't need to buy a whole album, I can buy a single song. I don't need to buy individual films. I can get a subscription and waste an entire weekend watching box sets. That is why they were successful, because they did a distribution model and pricing model innovation, yeah? It wasn't about the technology. Anyone can get access and utilize technology today. And so if all this disruption, this digital disruption, isn't about technology, what is it about? Well, let's dig deeper into that. This is, does anyone know why the slide disappeared? Anyway, I think it must be rebooting. There we go. It's probably an Apple Mac. Anyone know who this person is? Not the fat guy on the right, the other guy. It's Garry Kasparov, the world's most famous chess player, the famous one who got beaten by the IBM Deep Blue. Yeah, so he's the world's best chessman, got beaten by a computer. Anyway, I was very fortunate to be asked to go and keynote Europe's AI and Robotics Conference last year. I don't know why. I can't even spell AI. And he was there at the conference as well. He was speaking. And I went for dinner with him, and I have never met anyone in my life as smart as him. He is terrifyingly intelligent. My brain was bleeding trying to keep up with the conversation. But for some reason, he really liked me. It was either because of my dress sense, or I could drink as much vodka as him. But he said, look, Neal, I'd love to come and see your innovation lab. He says, I'm coming through Singapore in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks' time, we had Garry Kasparov turn up. The team was so excited. Not the young ones, they didn't know who he was, but the older ones in the team. And we took him around all our projects. This was Impress.ai, who do AI-based recruitment. And we took him around all the projects and showed him what we were up to. And we sat down at the end of it, and I said, so, Garry, what did you think? He said, I've just come from Google X, and this is better than Google X. We were stunned. Did he just say we were better than Google X? And I said to him, I said, oh, so why do you think we're better than Google X? And he said, they showed me how they were working on a drone to deliver bagels to office workers. You showed me the future of finance, which is going to affect everyone's lives. It just seems we're taking technology too far. We're just trying to use it for everything, no matter if the problem isn't important anymore, yeah? And this rush to digitize, I just don't think it's going to work. I don't think it is the future. And so if technology is not causing digital disruption, what is? Easy. It's these people. Your unhappy customers. It wasn't technology that disrupted all these companies and it disrupted all the industries. It's unhappy customers. That is the fundamental problem. And new entrants are pleasing those customers. And so they're moving away from retailers, from banks, and from other industries. Because it seems that nearly every company I talk to has forgot what business they're in. They're in the business of solving customer problems. We forgot that. I was talking to a CEO of a bank And I said to him, I said, what business are you in? He goes, come on, Neal, you know. I go, no, humour me, tell me. He said, okay, we've got cards, we do lending, car loans, mortgages, car insurance, life insurance, etc. I said, I don't think you're in that business. I think you're in the business of giving people their kids' education because you give them a savings plan. You're in the business of solving their transport problems because you give them a car or a motorbike loan. You're in the business of helping them protect the people they love because you give them life insurance. That's the business you're in. We've lost sight of that. So companies are just trying to sell you and monetize you all the time and build the minimum digital experience to make that a reality. They're not solving their customers' problems. The second thing companies aren't doing, they're wasting their greatest asset. And that is their staff. It's their greatest expense, but it's their greatest asset. So imagine a division in a company. Say the division's 1,000 people, and there's a boss at the top, yeah? Imagine it's a credit card division. And you've got the head of credit cards goes, right, we need a new credit card. I've been in this industry for 30 years, and here's what we need to do. Here are the rewards, here are the features. Right, my 999 staff, go build this. What a waste. What a waste of 999 brains who could have been part of that innovation process. So just one brain did the innovation, and the 999 people did the execution. This is why most people are working in companies they don't admire, doing things that don't inspire them, working for leaders that don't lead them, spending more time with people they dislike than people they love, like their families. The corporate work life is broken. Whoever invented it should be shot. Yeah? And so what we need to do is to get all our staff to be part of the innovation process, part of the strategy team, part of the people who define the future of that business, and harvest all those brains that we've got inside an organization to create this new innovation. That's what the tech companies do as well. That's what the disruptors do, is they do that. Secondly, we need to give these people freedom to try new things, to experiment. Yeah? We're in a world where people get micromanaged. Micromanagement is the death of innovation. Yeah? As a leader, I gave 4 things to my team. 1, protection. You do anything wrong, it's my fault. I'll apologize. I've had ND say to me, hey, Neal, one of your team upset one of my team, whatever, because they were trying to push them to innovate. Can you talk to them? I say, look, I'm sorry, it's my fault. No, Neal, it's not your fault. So I said, yeah, no, it is my fault. Whatever happens is my fault. Maybe I didn't coach them enough. And then I talked to the team person, and they feel really bad, they're quite junior. I said, what happened? They said, they just wouldn't, innovate. And I kept trying to, help them innovate and get them to move, and maybe I stretched them too far. And I said, great job. They said, is it going to affect my bonus? Everyone's like, I'm scared I'm going to lose my bonus. I made a mistake. I said, it might go up. That's exactly why I hired you. Protection, number 1. Second, education. I'm not talking about online corporate training. Teach all different skills. I teach them sales skills. I teach them how to do advertising. All different things you can use to be successful. I teach them corporate politics and how the world works. Third thing I teach them is give them freedom. Yeah? I say to them, if you can do your entire year's work in one day, take the rest of the year off. Of course, they never do. My point is, I've got stuff for you to do that needs to be done for the company. The rest of the time, come up with some new ideas, some new workshops, go to some conferences, talk to some startups, do what you want. You're a grown-up. And the final thing is inspiration. You can't change a corporate culture or make people innovate by mandation. You can't say, go innovate. We'll pull it in your KPIs. You must innovate. You must change. You must learn. It doesn't work like that. You have to inspire people. If you can inspire people to do their career's best work, if you can take your entire business and turn it from people who just turn up 9 to 5, sit at their desk, and turn them into people who are doing their career's best work for you, you are unstoppable as a company. Unstoppable. And guess what? Doesn't cost anything. Just need to trust the people you paid for. So if you do all of this, you focus on the human side, admittedly, need to fix your technology, need to fix your data, and you get digital, you digitize everything, and then you think, wow, we are a digital champion. We will survive the future. We will be a digital powerhouse and kill our competition. And you're already getting ready to be successful at being eaten by the digital tech companies. They have been waiting for decades for health and finance and retail to digitize so they can eat you. They don't want physical things. They don't want bank branches. They don't want hospitals. They want you to spend all your money digitizing your customers so they can have them. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. That's why they're making the moves they're making today, because you've educated them that their customers can be digital. You've spent the money doing that, and now they're coming to eat you. What do? You need to keep islands. So as companies, as land animals, we move into the digital sea. In the sea is the digital sharks. And they will be 100 times better at digital than you will ever be. You need the islands. And the islands are maybe your stores. They're certainly your people. Maybe they're your brand. So as you think about your digital transformation strategy, don't just rush into it. Don't replace your staff with digital and AI. Don't close all your stores. The role of digital transformation is to turbocharge your best assets, your physical assets. And so for me, the future isn't digital. The future is crafty logic. The future is hybrid. It's people and technology. Thank you.